Hi friends, welcome to another online tutorial. In our tutorial today, I will be teaching you how to make the sailor's collar. And I have my pattern here, my front block and my back block. Now the first thing you are going to do is to alter your neckline. I'm going to alter my neckline into a deep V neckline. To alter my neckline, I'm going to be connecting from here. I want it to be a deep V neckline. So I am connecting this point. I'm altering it all the way thus. So I'm going to come out with the red marker pen so that we will see. I'm altering it like that. So I'm changing that neckline to a V neckline. Remember, in our last tutorial, we indicated anytime you have a deep neckline, anytime you alter your neck from your basic neckline, it is always advisable you contour your neckline to avoid gapping. You contour that neckline. So what we are going to do, we are going to find the midpoint on the neckline. We are going to find the midpoint. So measuring this, I'm going to find the midpoint. The midpoint is somewhere here. So I'm going to connect this midpoint to my bust point for me to be able to contour. So I'm connecting it thus. I'm connecting it there. So I'm going to make something like, let me make it deeper so that you can see it. So I'm doing that. So I'm going to take out, I'm going to contour that by taking out a certain, that volume. For here, I'm taking 0.25 because I'm using a miniature mannequin. So I'm taking out from the neckline, I'm contouring from the neckline 2.5. I hope you can see what I just did. So to go ahead and cut it off here before we now continue what we want to do. So as you've seen, I have cut off this neckline so that I'll be able to contour my neckline. So to contour, I'm going to have to close that dart. So I use my tape to do that. So you have seen I have contoured the neckline. I have made the neckline smaller. Now, whenever you contour, there is always this discontinuity. There is always this discontinuity. So what do you do to get that neckline right? I am bringing in this piece of paper and I am laying it thus. So I'm going to glue that piece of paper along the neckline so that I can have my complete neckline the way it was before I contoured. So I'm bringing my tape and I am adding that back. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to rule this neckline from this point back to this point to have my deep V neckline back. But this time it has been contoured. So I am doing that, I am completing that. So you have seen. So I am going to go ahead and cut off. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess. So I have that neckline replaced. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut off this pattern. Okay, so I have separated the front pattern from the back pattern. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my paper, the one that I'm going to use to prepare the collar. I'm going to bring that in and I keep it thus. I'm overlaying the front. We now want to draw the collar. So what we are going to do next is that I'm going to bring in the back pattern and lay it on the front pattern such that this is the back pattern, such that this neck point, the neck point and this neck point matches. So I'm having this. That is what I'm doing there. The neck point match. So let me adjust it because I want to have it full. So I hope you see what I'm doing there. So this is the front. The front pattern must be kept straight. The back pattern is the one at which you twist to lay. So I am taping that down. I am taping the two of them down. So the next thing we are going to do now will be for us to plan our collar. Now our collar depends on what you want. The size depends on what you want. Some of the sailor collars, some have equal length front and back, some have unequal length. So it all depends on what you want. So, and then the sailor collar is always bigger than the shoulder. Either it is on the shoulder line or it flips a bit from the shoulder line. So what we are going to do is here, the shoulder line, what we have here left is 2 inches. So I'm going to be making it exactly these 2 inches for the style that we are working in. So to give it a little ease, I'm going to be marking here. So then I come to the back. So let me bring in the marker pen. So I'm marking my collar at that point. Then at my center back, I want it to fall to the back a bit. So I'm going to be taking 3 inches. So from my center back line, I'm marking 3 inches. Remember that the sailor collar most times is always a square collar. So what I will do is I will bring my ruler. And mark a square line. I hope you are seeing. So that is the center back. I'm marking a square line from my 3 inches. I'm marking a square back. So I'm going to connect that point to this point using a curved ruler. So I'm connecting it back here. I hope you are seeing what I'm doing there. So on the front too, so for me to be able to plan the front collar, I have to slash through the bust line so that this pattern, this fullness here can be transferred to my bust dart so that it can lay flat for us to plan the front collar. So I have gone ahead to slash through my bust line so that my pattern can be flat. So from here, from my neckline, I'm going to go down about 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches. That is where I want my front collar to be, the depth of my front collar. So it depends on what you want. You can go ahead and plan your own the way you want it. So I will just continue. Like that. And so here, continue straight the way this is. So that is that about our sailor collar. Our sailor collar is a square collar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my tracing wheel and trace up all the points. So I'm starting from here. So I'm tracing it out, following our neckline. So from here, I'm following here because I don't want it to be on the zipper line. So I've traced it today. Then the next thing is I'm going to trace this to this. Then I'm coming to trace all through in our armhole. Okay, having done that, I'm going to now trace the front part. So I'm tracing the side here. And I'm tracing here. So I will now trace here. Hope you've seen. Then I join it to the neckline that I have already traced. So I will now go ahead and cut these. So finally, this is the outlay. This is what the cutter that we had made. I had to make them two so that I can lay it on both sides. So this is it, how it came up. So by the time we lay it on our pattern, that is the way it's going to come out. So we've been able to get our sailor collar from our pattern, such that you notice that there is no cut along the shoulder, because when you lay it in the manner at which I showed you, you will be able to have it very beautiful. So I will go ahead and put it up on the mannequin now so that you will fully understand what the collar is like. If this tutorial has been of any use to you, if there's been any knowledge added, we would want to have a thumbs up, a like, a comment, your contribution. We would even like to know your own method, how you can arrive at the same thing. Thank you so much. Bye.